what Druid deck will Clark bring? Having prepared with Clark and practiced with him, I know he has a anti-mage hunter deck with the double Kazans and very defensive with Senjins, which is what I brought. I know he also has the try-hard Druid deck, which just does Druid things and kind of puts it on them to win.
I really hope you brought the hate deck.
Well, we can't tell from this hand. We'll see what the extra card is. So he definitely can't tell from this hand.
So he brought Druid things. We know that much.
What do you think of the mid-range against Druid? I know it's favored, but...
It all depends on Darnassus Aspirant, really.
Oh, and he gets the 1-drop into the 2-drop, so...
But he has Wild Growth into Senjin and Wrath, so he's feeling good.
That's Senjin.
This is the double Kazan deck.
Nice.
So Clark is definitely favored. Oh, yeah. Especially with the Innervate coming in.
I wouldn't go so far to say favored. I would say it's gonna, because I mean it has double Kazan, it has Senjins, it's very defensive, it has double Belcher, but I would say it's still pretty tough.
Does it have any heals?
No, it doesn't have any.
Because without any heals, it's, you know, if the hunter has a few, if it has a solid curve, which if he draws a animal companion.
Wow, double Innervate, so he can Wild Growth Innervate Wrath. Which I would like to see, because he can then, that'll put him into Senjin or even Innervate Coin. Really conservative.
Interesting.
And
it's because he's chasing a lore. Not sure if it's worth it personally.
Yeah, I think Clark has more experience with Druid than I do. And as we second
Wow.
Well, now I think you just Senjin Wild Growth. I think you do all of the things here, and then if you Wild Growth here with the coin in hand, you can play the lore next turn. I still think you should get the Senjin down.
And I think you should, once you put the Senjin down, I think it's really important to, I mean, you're already at 23. I think it's, the threat of hunter damage is real.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. We'll see if he does use an Innervate, and I would expect a Wrath. This allows him to play, I like this play a lot. This allows him to get the lore out next turn, or, you know, do whatever he needs to do here. And Catota is really trying to draw things. He did get the Mad Scientist, which is great, but at this point, like, I don't know, man. Xynergy's got to be really feeling the Kazan hate coming towards them from Archon Storm. So we'll see. These Mad Scientists are starting to work against them. We, of course, see that Clark doesn't have it, but he will have he'll have 3 chances to draw it next turn, as I believe he'll play the lore for draw. Catota really has nothing else here. I think the owl would be really premature. Quick shotting also seems...
Quick shot's okay.
Really?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Oh, no, he can't attack with the Scientist, though, so...
Right, so he can get a 2-for-1 on this, and then... Yeah, I find that extremely odd. And he has nothing to do next turn, so...
No.
I found that very odd. Clark picks up the Druid of the Claw, which is right on curve, but I don't know how you don't turn down Innervate lore.
Because you can Innervate Wild Growth, and then lore next turn.
I like Innervate lore here a lot more. I would try to find...
I think that's a really good point, Dan. I think that's the play I would make as well. Put a second taunt, and then you
get a
set up
giant
the
taunt.
lore right as you run out of cards. I think that's perfect.
I would be kind of really looking for the...
for the Kazan?
Yeah, but I guess it doesn't matter this turn, so... Oh, wow.
He's going to charge it. Yeah, get the Freezing Trap to get his Senjin back. And so the Quick Shot is now absolutely useless. I think that's an awesome
Interesting play. And Catota can't punish it. Unleash the Hound seems extremely bad. I assume we'll see a Spider and Hero Power. It will allow Clark to... oh, he's going to look for something. Interesting.
Jungle Panther.
It totally paid off. So now he's got a curve here. However, Clark will be able to play the taunt again. But at this point... Oh, we see Living Roots.
Living Roots is really good against that Panther.
So if you're Clark here, I think you play the Senjin and you Living Roots, right? But it really plays
tokens.
Is that dumb? Do we hold that against the Panther? I mean, the Panthers. You assume the Panther and the Spider are going to clear off the Senjin, though.
Right. I would think the Panther's going to trade.
So I don't know if holding it's that great. But
and you definitely don't. I don't know, but you don't want to make tokens because then you're just giving That's basically
giving
free
him more
hounds that
hounds.
are terrible.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what Clark does. He doesn't play it at all, so... but now
That's
we're
fair.
at turn 6, and
You have to play the high main.
Clark's a very good Druid player, but I do question a lot of these plays, and I think going into high main turn, his board isn't as strong as it could be, and his hand's pretty dead, considering he hasn't gotten the lore out.
I guess he figured he doesn't have a lot in his hand, and he didn't have a lot of pressure, and so with the lore in hand, he could just sit on the wild growth and use that for draw later on. Would, I guess, be the line of thought.
Catota is considering whether he wants to unleash here, and I agree with what you're saying.
Because this also draws out a Hunter's Mark, playing these other guys first with high health.
Right, right.
Although
Catota,
the other guys have taunt, so the other guys, I mean, you might prefer that the lore take the Hunter's Mark.
right, I agree. I think you would. Catota is considering... Savannah on 6 is extremely hard to argue with, but he has some options to be more efficient with the board. And now...
Passes, though.
Not clearing. Interesting. So
You want to leave that for more hounds going forward?
Clark with 3 extra mana, what can you do with that?
Wrath.
Nothing
Wrath
yet.
for one.
Swipe.
Swipe.
Huge.
Yep, swipe
Not
is
to be
huge.
helpful this turn, but he will be able to clear off a lot of this. And I think if you're Clark here, you go face. You try to get in as much damage. He has no combo cards in his hand, which is unfortunate because he won't be able to apply pressure, but I think you want the Hunter to start trading.
I like this, because now everyone has to trade into this engine.
Unless you silence it.
Unless you silence it, but he could have silenced it before. And if he silences it now, it's not the end of the world. It sets up for a swipe. I think this is okay.
So if you're...
Because otherwise he was just going to get the Senjin. You know, he'd be at 20 health, the Senjin would be dead, and then he'd be staring down a 6-2.
There's the bow. The bow's a huge pickup, and now...
That's a big deal.
Big deal. So now Catota should be able to board clear very easily here. And at 23 health, you've got to be kind of concerned. And a swipe, though, is going to be huge. And with if he can pick up a 4-drop here, he can turn out the... Oh! Well, he can swipe, innervate...
Belcher.
Belcher, which I kind of like.
Belcher's going to get owled.
The Belcher will
maybe
get
it won't get owled yet.
Ancient of War will
I guess we'll
be...
have to wait.
The Ancient of War would be unstoppable. Swipe is undoubtedly the play. The question, and maybe he's considering swiping face and hitting the 2/2 and wild growthing. That's another play. You save your innervate. No, okay. So he's valuing his health, and I think that's fair. 19 health. Although
I think that's the right thing to do.
I like
Tota's hand is dwindling.
Catota gets a web spinner off a web spinner, which is one of the worst, honestly, because he just won't be able to...
It doesn't change anything.
Right, he won't be able to apply any pressure, and now he's going to have to dump this little hand. And if he uses the owl on this Belcher, Ancient of War will severely punish it, and he doesn't. So Clark still
going to have to get around the Belcher.
Right, and so now the question, this is a very tough turn for Clark here. So you obviously...
Oh, well, less tough now.
Well, do you Dr. Boom, or do you War, or do you Lore? I mean, Lore...
I think you Lore.
You can
I wouldn't War. Lore's fair.
With the Belcher up, I agree you don't War. I think Dr. Boom and Lore are both totally understandable. You get him to 19 health with Dr. Boom up, I mean...
It plays into Hounds, but you have the Belcher up. If you kind of force him, like looking at his hand, I feel like he'd be forced to use the Owl to try to then get the Hounds.
He absolutely will be.
Past it, but then you just drop the War, and now everything's fine. And then, worst case, you still have the Lore to heal.
Right, so it looks like Clark's going to go with this line of play, and this is going to be... Oh, wow. He's going to hit the secret, and that is Snake Trap.
Oh.
And if he hits this 1/1, he'll get punished. He is severely punished. And now you have to Dr. Boom. And this is...
Interesting.
I really don't like this line.
Now you have to Dr. Boom. You think so? I feel like this just... Now he's going to get a massive board if you boom here. Oh, wow.
That's really good, too.
I really didn't like that play from Clark.
I would agree.
With double Kazan in the deck, I think you keep Scientist alive as long as you can and hope you draw.
I agree.
And in addition to that, you want to kind of apply pressure. And now Catota's going to have an enormous turn. We already saw Swipe, so we don't see the Owl, which is really incredible that Catota...
Oh, yeah, you don't have to with the extra bow charge.
And now Clark may just War, and what that'll do... Oh... So, the bomb's doing bomb things. Mech
Oh, my axe now.
is insane. So now Clark...
Oh, and Clark just draws absolutely dead.
Absolutely dead. I think you have to lure here.
Katota's assuming Clark has combo, I guess, by emoting well played.
Right.
I think
Certainly
if you
don't feel
lure,
good.
yeah.
You
I think you
absolutely
lure
have to
here.
go
Worst,
face.
so you can draw 3 more cards here, and I wouldn't be worried about lethal next turn. There's only, I mean, he's gonna have to trade against the boom,
So you
still get 7 off faith. All right, Hogwarts first. That's smart.
Doesn't matter. He can't draw lethal. He gets Emperor, which is
Emperor.
not helpful. You gotta
Yeah.
lure. Look for some sort of the combo, and you put him at 9. Oh, but he goes with the heal.
Healing? Oh, very
Extremely
defensive.
conservative. And he can't kill off Miexna.
Nope.
So
You got to hit face, and that's not terrible value to still get 7 on the face.
The
but
Wrangler!
well
Oh,
now
What are we gonna
Don't-
see? King
don't-
Crush for the win!
don't be.
Oh, just a
Oh,
raptor.
okay. All right.
Well, that wasn't a very good wrangle.
So now, my
man,
ex
I don't know. I think
tanked off.
Clark's really he can draw into
He's hurting.
or Drew of the Claw, but he's really
Or Savage
his
Roar.
last couple plays have been very questionable. There's no way Catota can kill off the Ancient of Lore, but he has to face tank it. So either way,
There's no
Catota
reason to.
will be dead to a top deck. Drew of the Claw, there is one. Will be dead to a swipe.
Force of Nature?
and there's another one. Force of Nature will be lethal as well, but Savage Roar will not be.
Yeah, Savage
If-
Roar is the only
Right.
thing he plays around by killing it now.
And
And he loses 5 damage.
I think you absolutely have to do that though.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
Savage Roar. He had lethal last turn. Maybe
He doesn't have it exactly.
he might have had lethal with Savage Roar last turn, so I think you have to trade, but he's not going to. So now Clark has 4 cards to draw lethal here. 4 out of 14. And he draws lethal. Wow. So Clark
Oh,
Boom.
wow.
Oh man.
Ooh.
And we were
Oh,
talking
you
about
guys feel pretty good.
Clark, that's my boy. Oh my god. Showing why he has the highest win percentage in the league. Clark Kent does what I couldn't and closes it out with a 3-0. So Archon Storm looking very good. And
So how does that shape up going into the final match then?
So that puts us at 12-8. So if Taz has to get swept.
Taz
If he gets swept, then it'll be a tie, and they'll have more total wins, and so they will win. So Taz
Right.
needs to get one win. One win.
one win. And
Okay.
looking at the PRs, we can go over their lineups. Neither of them are on. I don't believe we'll be able to cast their game.
They're playing, yeah,
No,
they're
11
playing late
o'clock is what I
tonight.
said. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we won't be able to cast that, but just to go over that match really quick and let you guys know what we're looking at. VendiClick is bringing Warrior Warlock Mage, and Tazdingo is bringing Warrior Warlock Druid. So very similar lineups, but VendiClick's been very versatile with his Mage. He brought Freeze Mage against actually Clark Kent earlier in the season, and he got swept by it.
Yeah, he was destroyed.
He was just so I don't think he's ever going to bring Freeze back, honestly, and he hasn't since then. He's brought Tempo Mage twice, and he's done very well with it. He's also brought Handlock and Control Warrior. So if he's playing Control Warrior, Tazdingo will have a couple opportunities to beat it, but Tazdingo is a patron player, so maybe VendiClick can snipe the patron with the Control Warrior and then move on from there. The Tempo Mage is very favored against Warlock and Druid. And the Warlock Mirror, So
For the record, to be fair, not that I think they're going to be taking notes, but there's still plenty of time for them to potentially tech decks based
Yeah.
on the
Oh,
commentary.
sure.
Oh, so I shouldn't be saying too
So
much.
we might not want to strategize too much for either side. That's all.
Right. All right. Well, excellent lines of play. We had a sweep from Dan. We had a 2-0 from me, looking like a sweep, and then I fell on my face, dropped 2-3, and then Clark Kent able to pull out the sweep, which honestly I did not see coming. Dan did. Dan did say that it could potentially happen.
You know that Clark Kent is only his alias, right?
Right. Yeah, he has a different name.
If he takes off the glasses, like he's really strong.
So Clark
Don't tell anyone though.
Clark Kent improving to 19-2 over 2 seasons and is the best win percentage in the entire league. And I think fair to say, if we win, would get the MVP of the season.
Well, Steve, I don't know if that was justified, but I'm assuming that why you did that was because I also got a sweep.
Dan also did get a sweep. All right.
You did.
Fair enough. But to be fair, Josh basically confirmed you'd get a sweep days ago, so maybe Josh should get the MVP.
Yeah, it was a great call.
That's actually mostly Josh that gave you that sweep. So I don't know. Yeah, and then I also think I deserve to be in the running as a loser, as a big loser. So loser. Pity and all that. Maybe I have golden card. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna see if we can get a winner's interview. We're gonna see if we can get a winner's interview with these guys. Obviously, a lot of excitement in the Archon Storm camp. Our boy Clark doing work, so he's gonna come on. Worth noting, when I played Catota earlier this season, I barely beat him 3-2. So I think it's fair to say we put our best man in the #1 spot.
Our top man.
Our top man. So very proud of Clark. And he's going to join us. I don't know if we can get Catota. Katota's just going into Tavern Ball to blow off some steam. It's understandable.
Can't say you
I hope he gets Boombot.
Yeah, let's just hope he gets... Actually, I've had better success with the Lumbobot.
You mean Annoyatron?
Annoyatron, thank you. Man, you get some of those Wind Furies.
Yeah, Annoyatron's nuts.
And then you throw on Bolster, and it's GG.
Yeah.
His hero power
I didn't
is
get
just
4-0'd
nuts.
at all as Annoyatron. Yeah, totally. I'm good at Hearthstone.
I love you.
I am.
Okay, let's see if I have Clark on.
Sorry that I don't know the Annoyatron meta.
The Annoyatron meta.
I'm going to invite Clark in here. I think he's getting on Skype. I'm not sure if he's fully on. He's got a weird green circle. Okay. But yeah, so it's gonna really come down to Tazdingo and Vendiclick. And Vendiclick, he has the power of gold cards behind him. Maybe to help him out. Tazdingo does have a full golden druid deck though, so I may try to pop in. Or I guess there's no watching. We won't do that. But it should be an interesting match. So we're trying to get Clark in here. Yeah, a very exciting season, and Rich and the league just announced a troll tournament will be coming out. That'll be kind of in between seasons, something for you guys to do and practice all your decks, if you will, with some fun troll decks. We'll be doing that on October 17th. So look forward to that. We will be casting it. If you do want to participate, email Josh Sampson. It's in the email. It was announced on Facebook and email. Email Josh Sampson your deck. The decks have to be reviewed because we don't want people, bringing Patron with, maybe Deathwing, which is not a troll deck.
No, man, I'm just trolling.
Yeah. So we're going to be evaluvating the
art of the troll deck is a serious thing.
And yes, it is very serious. And we've heard some very cool decks. Our very own Steve Cassidy was talking about his. I won't spoil it, but it sounds very. Or maybe he'll.
I see what you did there.
Steve, are you okay?
Oh, I'm great.
Somebody help him.
All right,
should we bring in Catota now?
Yeah, we can absolutely bring in Catota if he's down. Nick or ClarkKent is on Skype, and I think he should be joining very shortly. But yeah, so looking forward to that troll tournament. We have a lot of troll deck players in our league, so it should be exciting. And I think we have Catota.
We do.
You there?
Hello, hi.
Hey, how's it going, man?
I'm fine.
Yeah, great matches. I think we really we thought you played very well. It looked like you just had a lot of rough matchups.
Yeah, I think in the second game I did a misplay, let him play the both Mountain Giant in one turn.
Right.
Right, that's what we were thinking about.
Yeah.
When he went from 15 to 11.
Yeah, I mean that was just a very slight misplay. It did allow him to grab the board control, but I mean going back to the Patreon game, this is just a player. He really didn't seem to have.
Excuse me, I couldn't hear you.
Okay, yeah, it seems like if you
Is someone in a tornado?
Igor, if you don't mind.
I can hear him. I don't know.
Okay, I think I might have to drop.
Yeah, Igor, I think there's a lot of background noise coming from you.
Do you mind,
From me?
Yeah, it sounds like a wind noise.
A little bit of a squall on the horizon.
I will close my window too. Okay.
Oh, okay, that should help.
1 second.
Okay, excellent. Let's see if that helps.
It's better now?
No, not at all.
No.
Is Nick on the call? Maybe Nick's got.
No, not at all.
Actually, it's better now.
It is better. Okay, well we'll go with that.
Yeah.
So going back to the patron game, it looked like I really liked your line of play with the patrons. You basically forced him to have brawl, and unfortunately he had it both times. But
Yeah, I tried to force him, but I knew it was a tough game.
right. But you stuck it out, and I think you really made the winning plays both times, and it just so happened he had the exact answer, unfortunately for you.
2 brawls and it's tough.
Yeah, very tough.
Yeah, the top 11 cards had both brawls.
I think regardless of it being control warrior, that's still something you can't really plan for. And so I think with what you had and what you were working with, I think, and we could see both sides. You did extremely well. Any thoughts on the game in particular?
I think the second one when I let him play the both was the principal thing. But
Right.
the other
Right.
games, my draws weren't very good. I don't know.
Yeah,
But-
it was definitely
but he-
tough.
Yeah, he played very well too.
Yeah, I was very proud of him. This is his. Yeah, I thought he did pretty well as well. And then the final game was a nail biter. You guys both had some incredible draws. The Miexna was actually really good for you.
Pretty clutch, yeah.
Yeah,
But
almost.
yeah,
Ball's picking back up.
yeah, we're getting a lot of feedback. I think we're gonna.
Yeah, I think it's a good. Catota, we'll say goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
Great job. Well, thanks for playing.
Yep.
Thanks.
See ya.
Congrats for the tournament. The season was great.
Yeah, you guys did awesome. We loved having Synergy, and we look forward to seeing you guys next season.
Yeah, Synergy's performance has been outstanding so far.
Okay, thanks.
All right, see ya.
See you, man.
All right, and I think we have Nick now. Nick, you there?
Nick.
I
Clark?
maybe you're muted, or maybe he's got some mic issues. Hopefully we can get that worked
guys hear
out.
me?
Oh, there he is.
Hey.
So
That's the
congrats.
sound of victory.
That is Clark Kent, Superman, Nick.
Dude,
What's his last name?
secret.
Yeah, that was Man, what a game. Incredible job there. We couldn't see your hand in the first game. Obviously, we had some technical difficulties. How
Right.
how did the mulligan go for you? Did you keep brawl? Where were the brawls drawn?
Yeah, I had brawl in the one brawl in the opening hand and an ooze, I think.
Okay.
Nice.
Or I drew ooze like turn 1 or 2 very early.
So really, really great response for Patron. And yeah, you hit
exactly. The opening was perfect.
superbly. Yeah. And then moving on to the second game, I was saying, like, I think you really showed your golden warlock colors. I would have made so many different plays that I think would have lost the game, but you fearlessly tapped your way to victory.
I sure didn't draw anything, did I?
Oh yeah.
No Twilights, no Mountain Giants. I was kind of just sitting there tapping, not doing much.
It worked out. And, I mean, I think
John didn't want to tap. I was
terrified.
yellow.
Who knew that was the key to handlock? Just sit there, tap, and pray he doesn't kill
Enough
you.
flip from you. Enough flip from you. Don't dis.
It's really that simple, John. I don't know why you're struggling so much with this.
Yeah, this shows why I don't have golden handlock. But incredible play.
The only one class.
Oh yeah, yes. Well, but incredible play. I mean, the warrior, you were able to brawl, and we couldn't see your hand. So the first brawl happened, and we're like, wow, what if he doesn't have a way to kill this patron? And then the coin and the IX came out, and we all breathed a sigh of relief. An unbiased sigh of relief.
Oh,
I'm biased.
Yeah. Yeah.
Full disclosure. I'm biased, but I'm not dishonest.
Yeah, and then moving into the third game, you took a lot of I think it was Druid usually is like a class where, if you draw the early acceleration, it's basically each turn there's one card that's lit up, you play it, and then you get to turn 9 and you play the 2 cards that are lit up and you win. It's usually a class that doesn't really involve a lot of decision making. That's a little simplified. Generally, no. Generally,
it's definitely true. It's definitely true.
Is a class it's one minion per turn, or you play removal. Yep. It's kind of either or. And I think you had like hundreds of decisions that were extremely tough during that game, and it was it was just very impressive to see you maneuver through it, and ultimately take the win. Do you have any thoughts on that game?
Yeah, that was definitely a tough one. I mean, like you said, normally Druid's straightforward. You get the ramp like I did, and you just play the big guys. But didn't get the combo, so that made it a little trickier until the top deck obviously helped.
Yeah, I mean, you did kind of do the odds. We were really surprised by a couple of the plays, but it turned out to work. You never drew the Kazans. That deck does run double Kazans, correct?
Also true, yeah.
Yeah, and that was kind of unfortunate. You were more than halfway through your deck by the end of the game. But you were able to maneuver it, and you were able to weather kind of his initial burst and then take board control, and then he got the Miexna, and it kind of got chaotic, but you were...
Yeah, that was a little scary. I didn't have anything I can put down other than big guys that he would just easily kill.
And I actually, it's worth mentioning, you never played your Ancient of War, although I think it was very tempting a couple of turns. He had...
Definitely.
His only card in his hand was Owl.
I was a little worried about that.
Right, and we were, we thought that you would kind of bait it out with the Belcher, but he actually showed incredible patience and didn't use it, and we were really wondering whether you'd drop the war and it'd get severely punished. But you showed why you're the #1 player in Archon Storm, and actually
Sure are.
Okay, and, all right.
He's just so good.
Yes, I know he's. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah,
Thanks to a little help from, this whole team captain, I have helped a little bit. I'm not going to name names, but...
Stop it.
We
actually...
Is it Hertz Donut?
I think it is. I think that's his name. I forget sometimes, but I think that's it.
We actually
He's really
were told by Jedi Ninja and Rich, who's also in this call, that you are actually the most winning, or have the highest win percentage in the league. You, of course, I think you went, this is the 11th week, so you went 1-10 this week, or 1-10 this season, I believe, and then I believe you went 1-10 last season as well, or maybe 1-9 because we didn't make the finals.
Right.
It was something like that, but I believe you have 2 losses over 2 seasons, which is incredible. And yeah, very proud of you. So great job. Do you have any thoughts about the game? Any last things?
No, just thanks for putting this all together, guys. You do an amazing job as always.
Well, that goes
And
to
of course,
Rich.
not just my teammates, but Jedi and all the guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because you can't win without having losers. Am I right?
God.
That's what he was going for, right?
You can't get all the fame without people streaming it. That's what I was going with.
Right. And you're gonna be really famous. Like just the paparazzi will pop at your door very soon. Expect contract deals coming from Logitech and Nike probably, Gatorade.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm sure one of our 7 spectators is is an agent or something.
We have 7 spectators
at the moment.
Hey, that Hearthstone Gatorade is blowing up.
Yep, hang in for the quality interview content that we provide every week here at the show. Congrats to you, man. I'm so proud of you. And you really... So basically, just to give you an update, your win was enormous. Basically, all Tazdingo has to do is get 1 win, and he clinches the championship for our Archon Storm. You put us in an insanely good spot. I didn't tell you before the game, but if you had gotten swept, it would have actually been the entire series. Tazdingo's game wouldn't have mattered at all. So you put us in a great position.
I did hear that before I started. Made me a little
nice.
That's all right.
Good.
I was like, oh, great. All right. Thanks, John. No pressure.
Yeah. Well, awesome job.
That was my goal. Just don't get swept.
And you did it.
You nailed it.
All right. Well, I think we're wrapped up here. Rich, do you have any last comments?
No, I'll just mention again the Troll Tournament that's coming up in just about 2 weeks. That'll be Saturday, October the 17th. And then to tease that we've got something really exciting and fun in the pipeline that will be happening between now and the THL's official Season 1. We're going to get out of this kind of like Greek letter alphabet.
Yeah, we're going to kick it off.
The real thing.
Yeah.
That thing in the pipelines is, I think, something that actually, and I've said this multiple times, is what I'm more excited for this than anything else that THL's yet to bring. That's saying a lot, because THL's brought some awesome stuff. So be very excited, and that's going to be coming out really soon too, right?
Yeah, not to overhype things, but it is literally the most exciting
probably
possible
the greatest thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great way to end the stream. So thanks for hanging out with us, guys. And we're wrapping up season Kappa. And so it's been an awesome season, and look forward to things to come. So for Viridae and her.